I grew up as a little girl who experienced her own trauma with an alcoholic father that was very abusive. And no one knew what was happening in my house, but I had a horse. That was my safe place. And the only thing I ever shared my secret with was my horse.
Well, I saw these horses and I heard their stories of the experiences they'd been through, neglected, starvation, abused, and it just touched my heart. And then I heard the children's stories.
Kids who have been, physical, emotional, sexual abuse. So it's a very severe trauma. And God called me to help other kids that experience trauma just like me with horses. Hope Reins serves kids that are experiencing trauma and life crisis, and we pair them with horses that have been rescued. And the story of the horses' abuse and neglect and what they've gone through is really the bridge for our kids in their trauma.
Her trauma that qualifies her for being here is her brother has a rare disease diagnosis. She knows that it's terminal, she knows what that means, but since hearing those things, we've noticed little tendencies, little anger, frustration, resentment. So when we found Hope Reins, I was like, this is a perfect opportunity for her to be able to have something for her.
They start off in a one-on-one mentorship because that's what they need the most.
Building that trust and helping them feel safe. And the majority of our mentors are all volunteers. Lay people that have come here and learned how to work with our horses. We've helped them understand what is it like to work with a kid in trauma.
We're not here to heal them or make everything right, but I went through traumatic situations in my childhood and I had no one to talk to. And so for me, to be able to let these children have someone they can just talk to, that they can trust, and that they can pour out their heart to, it's a big part of the healing process.
This is really working one-on-one with a mentor and allowing her to be able to share what she's comfortable sharing. And if she doesn't want to share anything, just being able to work one-on-one with the horse and develop a relationship and a bond with a horse that's been through trauma as well.
Horses are very spiritual, and they sense. They can tell when someone's hurting, especially children.
They have a relationship job, a job connecting with kids in crisis, not performing.
Some of them we have taken out of abusive situations. We're not going to make that horse do anything it doesn't want to do.
It's not only her having to gain the horse's trust, but the horse having to gain her trust as well. And the horse setting the boundaries and her having to accept those boundaries.
It's like a picture of hope for our kids, that they can look at this horse and say, wow, if they're okay, maybe I'm going to be okay too. We have 18 horses. We have 180 active volunteers, 30 staff, and this year we're going to serve 200 kids in our program that are here on a weekly basis.
We are fully funded by donations.
It's really, really vital that we keep our services free. More than 50% of our kids live at or below the poverty line. They have absolutely no ability to see a therapist, go to the doctor.
For this to be offered at no cost because of generous donors is, that means a lot to me. That touches my heart as a parent.
Our Amway team is involved. We like to make a difference in the community because we've been taught that by the leaders of the corporation, by the leaders on our business team. We've been taught to be generous and to give back.
And LTD and Pam have made such an incredible difference to our ministry and helping so many kids.
There was just no way I couldn't give myself to this. It just really touched me.
The mental health crisis has never been worse for kids. But we see every single day the healing that happens, the hope that these kids walk out of here with.
I've seen such a difference in her self-confidence, her opening up, her communication, her boundaries, her leadership, all of those things.
That's what the kids come here for. It's a peaceful, safe place. And true healing does happen here. And we do see the lives transform. And it's just a beautiful thing.